What's up, friends? How you doing? How you doing? I'm so glad that you're here. Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me. We are talking about sales. What if you could double your sales just by using your voice? Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're here, ready to rock and roll with me, come on and put your name or just say what's up in the chat for me. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Catherine E.L. Norris, Sure Black. So glad that y'all are here on Instagram. Jessica, so glad that you're here on YouTube. And listen to a $1 million fan. What is going on? How y'all doing? Gaston Pierre. All right, what's up, my dude? How you doing? So glad that you're in the space, in the place. Who else is in this place? Catherine C. Lang, so glad that you're here. All right. God, somebody said 3. Yeah, 3. Cherie. Oh, how you doing? Good to see y'all. So glad that y'all are in the space. So glad that you're in the place. All right. Well, listen. Let us turn this music down and start chizatting a little bit so that we can, so that we can get some time together. Get some time together here. Yeah, let's do this thing. Let us do this thing. So what's going on, y'all? So we're here. I've been going live pretty much every day this week in the evening, talking a little bit about some quick business issues and challenges and problems that business owners are having. And I want to talk with you a little bit about that today. I got like a little knot on my head. I banged my head on my door earlier. So now y'all are going to be focusing on my knot. Nah, don't focus on my knot. Don't focus on my knot. Stop focusing on my anything. Anytime you tell people not to do something, that's exactly what they're going to do, right? Stop focusing on my knot. All right. Anyway, so here's what's up. I wanted to chat with you. If you are a business owner, I hope that you came to this conversation with anticipation, because we're going to talk about some stuff. Right? So here's the deal. If you're a business owner, if you're a real estate professional, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a side hustler, whatever it is, you don't just need followers. Hold on. Gaston said, we will not look, Gaston Pierre. We will not the knot. Yeah, I got a knot. I got the knot. Let me actually put this in the middle of the screen so my Instagram folks could kind of read this as well. Yeah. All right, cool. Yes, I got a little bit of a knot. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so here's my question for y'all. Well, actually, I have 2 questions. If you are just hanging out and you want to join me on the screen here, at any point, just to hang and chill for a couple of moments, then we shall do that together. All right. So you can go to AMPLIFYVoiceAndVideoSummit.com/pop-up Zoom. All right. Amplify. Yasmin. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Don't look. Stop it. All right. See, y'all are driving me off track. You're getting me distracted by my imperfections today. Oh boy. Yeah. So if you want to hang out for just a few, you're watching me on screen here on the live stream. But if you want to hang out and just kind of pop on screen here too, head over to AmplifyVoiceAndVideoSummit.com/pop-up Zoom. So again, my question today is, what if your voice and I need to raise my eyebrows so you don't see the knot. I see it differently when I look at my screen. How about that? Yeah. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah. Y'all are driving me off track. Let's get back. All right. So what if your voice and video could double your sales? What if that could happen? What if that was proven? Right? Because for most people, it can. For most people who are figuring out how to grow business and how to live life and how to market, they're doing some different things, and we're going to talk about some of those in just a little bit. But a lot of people are doing it, and they're missing out on the biggest asset that they have, and that's their voice. So let's talk about a client of mine really quickly. I had a client, and this may be even some of you, right? I had a client who had started a business, and one of the things that they were doing, that as they tried to grow the business, Paco Edson, what's going on? Trini Gyalarican. All right, there you go. As this client was trying to grow the business, they were following a lot of gurus online, and they were doing all the things that the gurus told them to do, right? They were doing the things. They were sending emails, they were posting, they were creating content, they were networking, and they were doing all of these different things, going to events, and they were still hearing crickets. They were still hearing crickets. And when we had some conversations about it, they were like, dude, I've been at this. And not that they were decrying their growth, or not that they were not growing at all. They just were not growing at the pace that they wanted. And one of the things, they had a coaching business. And one of the things that used to get them upset was they would chase after people. They had like a $250 program, and they would chase after people, and they would chase after 10 people, and they would chase after them for weeks, calling them one-on-one at a time. And then most of them would say no, and they would get so frustrated that they were just like, I'm just going to give up. I'm going to get a regular job again. Right? And I'm speaking about a client, but maybe you are in a business where you have felt the same way. Maybe you're in real estate, and you're kind of like, you're trying to do this thing, you're trying to launch this thing off the ground, and it's just not moving forward at the pace that you want it to. Go ahead and raise your hand if that's you. Have you ever gone through, maybe the people in the chat right now are billionaires and you are super successful, but if you've gone through the swing of, oh my gosh, I'm doing all the things, I'm creating, I'm writing the blogs, I'm putting stuff online, I'm sending stuff to my family, my friends, I'm sending emails, and I'm doing some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff, but it's just not making the dent or the impact that I want it to make. Go ahead and type me if you've been through that, or if that's you now, currently. Yeah, I see a couple of me's coming through. Right? So anyway, so this client, Speak Michelle, what's going on? How you doing, my friend Michelle McCullough? NSA pal, how you doing? So my client, when they came, one of the things that we started to do was asking the question, hey, are you speaking? And they said, no, I'm not a speaker. I'm not a speaker. And besides, where would I speak? Well, we started to talk about that, and we were like, okay, well, some of the places that you can speak are, number one, you've got video stages that you can speak on. You can create your own video stage. There are chambers of commerce that you could speak at. There are meetups that you can speak at. You can hop on Eventbrite, and there are a lot of different events that you can get connected at. Right? There's so many different opportunities and options for you, especially now. If you went into ChatGPT right now and just said, hey, ChatGPT, I am a business owner. I run this business. I run a cleaning business. Give me 5 topics that I could speak about and 5 places that I could speak about them at. ChatGPT would spit out some responses. We live in a fantastic time right now. See, the only thing that ChatGPT cannot do for you is it can't speak for you. But it can tell you where to speak. It can tell you how to speak. Yeah, Gamal's like, ChatGPT is my best friend. It can tell you what to speak about. It can be, and you're going to know better than ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Perplexity or Copilot. You're going to know better than any of those tools the languaging or the stories of your audience. But it can give you a starting place. If you're sitting there, you don't have clarity and you're like, I don't know what to do. It can give you some clarity about how to move forward, right? It can give you something to start talking about. You can just go, you can answer a question. So let's actually talk about this for a second. I don't know if you remember this name back in the day, in the history, in the 1900s. There was this thing called a newspaper. And there was a lady, I don't remember what her birth name was, but she took on the name Abigail Van Buren. Right? She took on this name Abigail Van Buren, and people knew her in the newspaper by this pen name, Dear Abby. They would send in questions or they would share information, and then she would give advice to them. Right? So she could speak to her audience or speak to her audience's needs because they were always sharing with her the challenges that they were having, marriage problems, life problems. She could speak into that. And I bet you that if she said, hey, I want to have a conference. Hey, I want to have a summit. Hey, I want to do this thing. Tons of people would come because Dear Abby knew their issue, knew their challenge, and was able to speak to their problem. So the question and why I brought that up for you is, okay, do you know the questions that your audience would ask, or that your customer or that your prospect would ask? And if you know the questions, do you have or can you create a solution for that? Now, that solution may be a product, a physical product. That solution may be a service product. It may be a coaching package. It may be a workshop. It may be something, a done for you package. But once you know it, one of the best ways to build up trust in your audience is not only to solve the problem, but to share with them and to talk to them about how their problem can be solved. And then you can share with them that you understand how they feel or how the problem is affecting them. So what have you done to get that data from your audience so you can begin asking them questions? Well, Gamal just talked about ChatGPT is my best friend. Yeah. Ask the audience the question, but now also start asking the AI, okay, cool. Let me ask it this question. And then get on video and give your customer a name. Call them Andrew or whatever. All right. And say, Andrew sent me this question. I got this question from Andrew. And you answer the question in a way that allows people to say, yeah, that really makes sense. I understand that. You actually know how I'm feeling. And that is one example of speaking to your audience or using your voice to help your audience. Right? So my client was doing all these different things. They were posting, they were emailing, they were doing the basics, or they were doing all of the things that they thought they needed to do. But once they started to find stages, right? Things changed. They began to get a lot more leads. They began to get people asking them specific questions. And isn't it different? It's very different when you get people coming to you inbound, asking you questions, as opposed to you having to chase customers and clients, right? And so I'm on here because, thank you, Jillian Roberts. How you doing? Jillian's like, I love that zoom in when you're making your point. So here's the point that I want to make. Yeah. Boy. So listen, so I love the fact that you got me distracted, Jillian. You gave me a compliment and my brain just went like to mush just now. Yeah. So what was I saying? Come on, somebody remind me of what I was saying. I was saying that, yes, so my client just started to do different things. It's okay. That's all right. My client started to speak a bit more. My client started to do more on video, and that allowed people to start asking them some questions. So let me share with you three things really quickly. So I'm gonna share with you three reasons or three things that people are doing with regard to their voice and video that's causing them to lose sales. Catherine says, when you speak to your target, you connect with your target. I love it. I love it. When you speak to your target, you connect with your target. Jillian says, make them come to you. I love it. Right. And then Jillian was like, sorry. Oh yeah, Catherine's like, I wrote for a paper. Yeah, really good, really good. All right, so so let's walk through three things really quickly. Three reasons why people are losing some sales in their business. So number one reason is that they're hiding behind their content. Right? Hiding behind their content. They're creating, but they're not speaking directly to their audience. Here's the deal. I used to write a lot of blogs. I used to write a lot of articles, and it's good. And you should write blogs and you should write books and you should write. But a lot of people, I used to have this community that I called the Speak Right Now community. And the reason that I had that community was I believed, and I still believe, that speaking and writing go hand in hand, right? If you're a writer, then you've got to speak about what you've written about. If you are a speaker, then you've got to write about what you've spoken about. And part of the reason I believe in that is because as a former teacher, Jillian Roberts, you know this, as a former teacher, there are different learning styles that really engage or draw people in, right? Kinesthetic, auditory, visual learners. So if I'm dealing with people who are visual, that want to share something that is visual and that is image. If I'm dealing with people that are auditory, then I want to share something this way so that they can hear it. If I'm dealing with kinesthetic learners, I want them to move around quite a bit. I want them to raise their hands. I want them to high five somebody. I want them to stand up. I want them to sit down. I want them to do something. Right? So how does that relate to speaking? How does that relate to content? Well, if you are just writing your content alone, you're missing a portion of your audience. You're missing a big portion of your audience because there are a lot of learners who are auditory. And here's what happens. Even the ones that are primarily visual still have some level of auditory. So when you speak about your message, when you speak about the challenge, when you speak about the issue that people are facing or that your audience or your target audience is facing or walking through, right? You connect, you grab people's attention, you get into their world a bit. And once you can get into their world, then you can help them to see and create pictures, and you can move them from their challenge to that catalyst to their change. Right? And we can talk about that a little bit later on. I'm actually running a session during Amplify where I'll talk about the challenge, the catalyst, and change and what that means. Right? So sidebar, click the QR code or go to AmplifyVoiceAndVideoSummit.com. Get registered if you haven't done that yet. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes, right? So people are hiding behind their content. It's not just enough to create the content and leave it alone. You've got to speak about it. You got to populate it. You've got to do several different things to reach those different learner styles, right? So that's number one. Stop hiding behind your content. Speak to your audience. As a matter of fact, let me share with this story really quickly. If you're in the business world and you're a business leader, you got to get this book called, and my first business coach said this book and I thought it was something else, but the book by Patrick Lencioni called Getting Naked. I'm with my business coach. He's like, you got to get this book, Getting Naked. I said, dude, we're not doing that type of coaching. What's going on? What's going on here? Come on. Right. So anyway, this book was about, I'll give you the main idea of the book. Main idea of the book was there were these two marketing companies. One marketing company was a huge marketing firm that was well known, threw all the dollars behind it. And then there was another company that was a small boutique firm. And there was a guy that was working at the large marketing company that was sent over to the small boutique firm as a spy because that small boutique firm was just blowing up and taking all of their big clients. So this guy went to, as he was working with the small boutique firm, he went on a presentation with them, and he noticed that during the presentation, instead of whipping out a big binder with all of these brochures and offers and proposals, the guy that went to do the presentation didn't even seem like they were prepared. They just went in and started to ask questions. And they just asked question after question after question after question. And every time they asked a question, they were catching information. They were getting data. Right? And so that is the power of questions. That's the power of your voice. So if you're just sending out marketing, if you're just sending out emails and you're never speaking, if you're never asking questions, if you're never collecting data and information from your audience with your voice, then you are losing sales. Right? So, and when I say hiding behind your content, that is also inclusive of your marketing content, your brochures. All people are posting stuff. I got a website and you're putting all this great stuff on the website, all this fantastic information, and they're seeing how smart you are. But you're not hearing them. Right? And so you're hiding behind your content. So number one, stop hiding behind your content. Number two, showing up blah. Showing up blah, and I'm a big proponent of energy, right? Yeah, that's what this thing is. That's what the color psychology of orange is. I'm a big proponent of energy. If I'm gonna be out in front of you, I have got to show up in a way that engages. That yeah. Somebody said, yeah, you're okay when you expose your heart, your position is to touch your heart. I love that, Catherine. I love it. Yeah. So when you show up in person and on video, sometimes you're losing sales because you're showing up blah. How many times have you seen somebody on a video? And there's several things that you can do on video. Some of you may say, Robert, I don't have, my energy is not like yours. I don't pop. I don't do the same thing in the same way. And there's several things that you can do to change how you show up on video and in person. On video, you got different cameras, you got different zooms, you got different things, different views. That's one way to do it. All right. But if I'm talking in person, how do I show up not blah? Well, I've got to focus on some different things. I've got to focus on vocal variety. I've got to focus on pausing. I've got to focus on changing the energy. I've got to focus on pattern interrupts or pattern disrupts. How do I do those things to really engage my audience, right? So I don't want to show up blah, because if I'm showing up blah, I'm losing sales. All right. So number three, and we're going to jump off of here in just a little bit. All right. Number three thing that people are doing that is causing them to lose sales is no emotional connection. No emotional connection. I've said this over and over, and I will say it till the cows come home, that if your audience does not feel that you understand their problem, if they don't feel like you understand the challenges or the emotions that they're going through, then in this day and age, they won't buy from you. And that is why your voice and your stories are important, because they connect. Yeah, right? Norm is saying your clothes, your interactions, your aura, your essence. I love that, Norm. Right, all of that. All right, Catherine says the key is to show up authentic. Authenticity makes all the difference. Yes, it does, Catherine. And intentional authenticity is what makes a difference. And I'm adding that word intentional because, oh my gosh, I know some people that show up authentic. They show up and they keeps it real all the way. And they may not get the sale because they also are not aware of the needs of the audience. So yes to authenticity, and be aware of the needs of my audience. If I'm a motivational speaker, right, and I get called to speak to an audience, and the audience is 70-year-olds, 75-year-olds, and I go in and I'm yelling at them because that's what I do. I'm bringing the energy. I'm bringing it hard. I'm bringing it. But they're 80 years old and they're sensitive about some things. Then it's not going to be, it's authentic, but it may not be what that audience needs. So I've got to be intentional. I've got to figure out, number one, first about my audience, and then number two, how to be authentic in a way that delivers the needs of my audience. Right? Catherine says, let me check what Catherine's saying here. If your audience feels like you're performing, they may enjoy the performance. Ooh, but they won't connect with you. Yeah, I get that. And Norm is like, yep, you can tell who's not authentic. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So those are the three things that I wanted to share. What three sales blocking mistakes? Three sales blocking mistakes. I'll repeat those again. Number one, hiding behind your content. Number two, showing up blah or meh. And number three, not having emotional connection. Remember, your audience doesn't want information. They want to feel understood. They want to feel seen and heard. And as a business owner, that is your job. This is why Super Bowl commercials work, right? It's not about the information. It's about the experience that the audience feels. And they feel an experience when they feel like, okay, you've done enough work to figure out what makes me laugh, what makes me smile, what makes me feel a certain way. So your audience wants to feel understood. So capture some stories, capture some stuff that allows you to connect with your audience, both in person and on video, in a way that is going to skyrocket your sales, boost your brand, and amplify your influence. And speaking of amplify, let's chat about this here summit for a moment. Again, April 23rd and 24th, we are going to have 15 phenomenal speakers at this summit, right? So if you are someone who is a business owner, especially early stage entrepreneurs, where you are saying, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done these 5 things, and it's slowly working, but I need more impact. I need more, right? I want you to check in with us, tap in with us at the Amplify Voice and Video Summit, where over 2 transformative days, we're going to share with you how you can build your brand, boost your leads, and skyrocket your sales. All right. 15 powerful, phenomenal speakers. And let me go down to who the speakers are here for a second. Who's that dude? All right. So yeah, here's some of the speakers: Ramon Ray, Bruno Lopez, Tatiana Rodriguez, Tanya Smith, Stephanie Garcia, Kenya Kelly, Pierre Quinn, Kirk Nugent, Danny Del Vecchio, Hannah Pryor, Quinn Conyers, Chris Stone. We've got some phenomenal. This lineup is bananas, to the nanas. I'm telling you, it is. So, and here's why it's bananas, because we're going to be talking about some stuff. Let me jump to actually I can just jump to this next page, this next tab. We're going to be walking through some stuff. So I just shared with you 3 blocking mistakes, and all of our speakers are going to be catering to that and talking to that. So Ramon Ray is going to be talking about building a brand with your voice. Quinn Conyers is going to be walking us through how to identify opportunities for the message. Pierre Quinn is going to be talking to us about how to master the right story for the right audience. Danny Del Vecchio is about getting leads with your video, and Bruno Lopez from Big View is going to be talking about how to use AI to shortcut your video and your speaking process. And we've got so many other fantastic things. Go to the site AMPLIFYVoiceandVideoSummit.com, get signed up, and let me walk through 3 things really quickly. I've shared with you that we've got some phenomenal sponsors: Big View, Speaker Video, and Elgato and Speaker Hub. Let's stop on the Elgato for just a second here. Elgato, one of the things that we are giving away from Elgato, Catherine says, already signed up. We've got something called a Creative Influence Bundle that Elgato's giving away. And it is a Stream Deck Plus, a Elgato Wave Mic, and Elgato Face Cam. Yeah. All right. So you got to be a tier 2, tier 3 attendee to win these. So make sure that you are in it to win it. Now, you may say, Robert, It's a giveaway, dude. Why should I do the tier 2 and tier 3? So let me walk through what tier 2 and tier 3 are. Let's walk through that really quick. So tier 1 is free, all right? And you're still going to get fantastic value. You've got 3 sessions that will be shared with you. All right, but tier 2, you get access to all sessions, access to the community, access to the replay, and then our sponsor, Speaker Hub, is going to be giving each of the tier 2 attendees a 1-year Speaker Hub Silver membership. And if you were to buy that membership on the Speaker Hub site, it is $150 for the year. Now I'm not even going to walk through all of the different features of that, but I'll just say that it's crazy. Okay. So tier 2 attendees, $47. You'll get Speaker Hub Silver membership as a piece of your membership or your attendee package. If you come on in at a VIP level, tier 3, you'll get all of the sessions, you'll get the community access, you'll get the replays, you'll get Zoom backstage access to myself and other presenters, you'll get screen and stage time, possible screen and stage time if you've got questions. And Speaker Hub is saying, yeah, you're gonna get a year of Speaker Hub Gold membership, which you would pay $350 for. They're including it in that $97 VIP package. So listen, even if you said, you know what, Robert, I don't want to spend 2 days with you and your other speakers. I don't think that, I don't like that knot that's on your head, Robert. So I don't want to see you ever again. But I want to get that there Speaker Hub package for a year at a discounted rate. If you're just thinking about it as a discounted rate, listen, just get the VIP so that you can grab that Speaker Hub thing. And then, you know, when you come around and your friends tell you how great it was, and you can come back and watch the replays of all of the stuff. Listen, it's just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. All right. And so I'm excited about it. And I hope that you are too. I hope that you're just like, listen, let me get on this thing. And then thank you, Catherine. Not the knot again. Yeah, the knot again. Let me just get in on this thing and tell your friends, tell your people. You know how it is when there's like the Black Friday sales or all those different things, and you wanna make sure you're not sure if it'll I was gonna say something. I'm gonna say it. You're not sure if somebody's gonna put tariffs on it, and you're not gonna be able to get it at that price again. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to devolve into that. Yeah, I'm so sorry. All right, but listen, this is, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal deal. It's a phenomenal event. I'm super excited about it. So come on in and jump on to Amplify Voice and Video Summit. Go to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. All right. So jump on in and get your life. Come on in and get your life. Right. So let me see if there's anything else that I need to share with you. Listen, we've got some phenomenal sessions. Hook to book, getting leads with video, the psychology of persuasion, using your voice to inspire action. We've got some phenomenal videos and speakers, and we've got some amazing commentators that are going to be in between and being your guide for this session as well. I see some people. Gary Jones Jr., what's going on, dude? E4 Productions, Reyes Remedies, SoXDER7. I mean, these Instagram names are killing me. Ashley Allen RE. Hey, Ashley, how you doing? Candy Create. What's going on? How you doing? So glad that y'all are here. Teresa, my office professionals. So glad to see you. Yeah. So that's what's happening. Listen, y'all just get registered for this thing. It's going to be a phenomenal thing. And Norm, yes, have a meeting with a client. Glad you're working, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. So I'm about to jump over here too, because I got to put some ice on my stuff. And get some dinner. All right, y'all. Listen, it's been phenomenal hanging with you. I look forward to okay, I'm looking for what? Yeah, Raise Remedies. Yeah, I was just seeing what that symbol was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing y'all and hanging out with y'all at the Amplify Voice and Video Summit. So make sure that you get registered. Head on over to Amplify Voice and Video Summit.com And I'll see you in just a few days. Tell your people, tell your friends. See you soon. Okay, that song is a little bit weird. But let's go. How about this one? A little bit better. There we go. All right. With the QR code, get registered.